Hello everyone, I welcome you in the virtual classroom of Economics for Business Decisions. We are discussing unit number 2, pricing policies. In this unit, we have already discussed the factors and objectives of pricing policy, and we have started the methods of pricing. In that, we have discussed two methods that are cost plus pricing and going rate pricing. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss the next methods, that is skimming and penetration pricing. The another heading we can give, or the another way this question can be asked in your exam, that is the pricing policy for a new product, or they can also ask discuss pioneer pricing. Pioneer simply means the if we take the dictionary meaning of pioneer, then it is a person who initiate, it is a person who starts something first. So when we are launching a product, what is the first price that we should decide, that is known as pioneer pricing, and that is why the another name is given here is the pricing policy for a new product. Here two methods or two policies are given, that is skimming pricing and penetration pricing. Skimming simply means charging the highest possible price, and penetration means the lowest price. Firm can decide either of the way for their product. Either they can choose to charge high price, or they can choose to charge low price. Now when to charge high price and when to charge low price, it is not depend on the wish and will of the entrepreneur. It depends on the lot many circumstances, it depends on your product, it depends on the market, and after analyzing the situation from each and every corner, the entrepreneur has to decide whether he should go for skimming or for penetration, and that we will discuss in detail. Let us see. The introduction of new product may involve some problems in as much as there is neither an established market for product. What is the difficulty for new product pricing? That market is not already ready for it, nor a demonstrated demand for it. We don't know in beginning that whether this product will be demanded at all or not, and if it is demanded, then how much demand will be there. Two problems are there, that market is not established, means market awareness is not there, market is not ready for it, and we don't know how much demand will be there in a market. The firm may expect a substantial demand for the product, though it is yet to be established. Even if there are some near substitutes, the actual degree of substitution has to be estimated. Again, there may be no reliable estimate of direct cost of marketing and manufacturing of product. The another problem is we don't know the cost structure of the product. We don't know about the market situation, we don't know about the demand, and we don't know about the cost. Moreover, the cost patterns are likely to change without greater knowledge and increasing volume of production. Initial stage cost structure may be different, and in later part it may differ if your production increased to a large extent. Yet the basic pricing policy for a new product is the same as for the established product. It must cover full cost in the long run and direct cost in the short run. Of course, there is a greater uncertainty about both the demand and the cost of the product, that we have already seen, that we don't know about demand, we also don't know about the cost. But yet, what the purpose is, whether you charge skimming or penetration, the basic logic, the bottom line is you must cover your full cost of the production. Now we are dividing full cost into two parts, that is variable cost and fixed cost. You have to cover variable cost in the short run by selling each of the product, and you have to cover your fixed cost in long run. by imagining, by predicting that we will cover fixed cost in long run, but we don't know for how much long run our product will survive in a market. So that is the uncertainty about the product and the pricing. Apart from the problem of estimating the demand for an entirely new product, certain other initial problems likely to be faced are which problems a firm faces when they launch a new product that are given here. Discovering a competitive range of price. First problem is what price to be charged. Second, investigating the probable sales at several possible prices. Now suppose we choose three options to charge 100, 125 and 150 rupees. Now the next task is to decide what will be the demand level at 100 rupees, at 125 and 150, because at every level of pricing demand will not be same, it will definitely differ as your pricing differs. So next task is to predict demand for different level of pricing, considering the possibility of realization from the product substituted by it. How much profit we can earn by selling this product, and how much profit is already earned by the product which is known as substitute of our product. The firm's objective in introducing a product have also to be considered with pricing a new product. The objective of utilizing idle capacity will require that the selling price may cover only variable cost. See here, different objectives are given, different factors are given on the basis of which we can decide whether to charge skimming price or penetration price. The first, it depends on the objectives of a firm. Here it is written that if your objective is utilizing the idle capacity, so you are not starting your new business, you have already started your business, you are already doing production, you are already selling in market, but you have idle capacity and you want to utilize that idle capacity. Say for example, you have installed one machinery whose installed capacity is 10,000 unit, but market has demand of only 8,000 unit. It means you are producing 8,000 and you are selling only 8,000 units. Now what you want to do, that you are thinking that if I will produce 10,000 unit, then my cost per unit will reduce. That is true, and it is logical also. If you utilize your full capacity, then definitely your cost per unit will reduce and your profit can be increased. But what about the demand? Demand is only 8,000. If you want to sell 10,000, means there is a gap of 2,000. If you want to sell 2,000 more, then you have to apply the law of demand. You have to reduce the price to increase demand. So here skimming pricing will not be useful, but it will be penetration pricing if we want to utilize idle capacity. Then secondly, similarly, if the product line is to be broadened, the another objective is product line is to be broadened. A low price strategy will be wrong when the existing products are sold at premium. Take an example that your business is not new, your business is established one, but you are launching a new product. You are extending your product line. You can take here example of two different companies. Take the example of Apple, who are selling every product at highest price. If Apple charges the penetration price or the low price, it will ruin the image of Apple. It will confuse the mind of customer. So for them it is compulsory to charge premium pricing, or we can say skimming pricing. Another example you can take is of Patanjali. They have established their business as a low price business. They cannot charge the highest price if they launch any new product, because it will not be in a streamline with their existing product. So if your existing product is charged at high price, you have to charge high price for your new product. If your existing products are sold at low price, you have to charge low price for your new product. Then next, if a product is launched for which market is not really ready, no price will succeed. Market is not ready. We are we have invented a totally new kind of product which is not sold in a history. It is totally a novelty for a market for which even market don't know anything. Market is not having need of it and market is not ready for it. Take an example of conditioner. We are using conditioner after doing shampoo. In Indian market, from so many decades, only shampoos were sold, soaps and shampoos were sold for the hair as a hair care product. Now, as they invented the conditioner, initially they have started giving it as free. The Sunsilk has done this strategy. They have launched conditioner in a market and they have given the free bottle with the shampoo just to make consumer habituated of it. Once they get habituated, then definitely they will make demand for the next time, and next time they are charging the price. So when you are launching a product for which market is not ready, no pricing policy, means giving free, will be a good strategy. In addition, decisions have to be taken on target market. If you are targeting rich class, you have to charge high price. If you are targeting middle class or poor class, you can charge low price. Design of the promotional strategies. If you are using aggressive promotional strategy, you have to go for skimming, and if you are using defensive promotional strategy, then you have to go for penetration, that we have discussed in details at the time of factors affecting pricing. And channel of distribution. Longer the channel, higher will be the price. Shorter the channel, lower will be the price. Test marketing can be helpful in solution of this problem. Now, these are the different circumstances and different factors on the basis of which entrepreneur can decide whether he should go for scheming or penetration. But again, I am mentioning that it is not only the entrepreneur whose analysis, whose vision will can decide the price. And if it is decided on the vision, will, and the analysis of entrepreneur only, without considering market, without considering consumers perception, you are definitely going to fail in a market. So to know consumers perception about your product, you should do a little activity, and that little activity is known as test marketing. Now, test marketing is again not new to you. It is a demand forecasting method that we have learned in semester 3. Again, I am repeating here what a test marketing is. When we are producing and when we are launching a new product, we are not launching in a full market, but we are launching in a selected area just to know just to recognize the initial reaction of consumer, and if reaction is good, we are going to launch in full market, and if reaction is not in our favor, we will modify the product and then launch it in a full market. That's what Tata Nano has done. When they have made the Tata Nano, they have not launched in the full Indian market, they have just launched in the Mumbai market only, and they have recorded the responses of consumer, and then they have decided that this product is accepted by the consumer, so we can launch in full market. So this is what test marketing is all about. That is what explained in this paragraph. You can go through it. So firstly, we should do test marketing to come to a conclusion whether to charge skimming pricing or penetration pricing. Then next important question is whether to charge high initial price or low penetration price. If a skimming price is adopted, then the initial price is very high. The policy may be held for varying period of times indefinitely if the product enjoys valid and defensible patent protection. But usually it is not longer than the time necessary for competitor to study the product's usefulness, to decide what to do about it, and to prepare for making it, a period ranging from few weeks to as much as 2 years. After this period, the price is apt to drop precipitately, and over a period of few years to approach the usual or customary margin above cost that is common in the industry. See here, the pattern for skimming is given. Whosoever company is charging skimming pricing, what is the scenario for skimming pricing? Initially, they are charging high price. Why? Because their product is novelty, their product is luxury, and it is not having any substitute in the market. No, any other competitors are producing it. They are having a kind of monopoly and they are enjoying it, and that is why they are charging high price. But you know that this market is like a war area only. They are like the battlefield where if you have entered, then you have to fight with the competitors. You cannot have monopoly for a longer period of time. Sooner or later you have to face competition. Means if you have a new product, then it will be copied by your competitor within few weeks and more than 2 years. You can enjoy monopoly for maximum 2 years and minimum for few weeks. After that, competitor will copy your product. As they have copied it and they want to cover your market, they want to uh, snatch away from you your market, they will definitely charge low price. Now two same products are there in market, one with high price and another with low price. Which product consumer will purchase? Definitely with a low price, and that is why you have to lower your price. So what is a pattern of skimming? Initially high price you can charge, but as the time passes, when it is copied by competitor, when market has adopted it fully and now it is no more luxury, it is considered as a routine product, you have to lower your price slowly and slowly. Take an example of AC. One point of time was there when AC was considered as a luxurious product, but now it is considered as a needy product. So when it was launched newly, it was sold at a very high price, but now it is sold at a quite reasonable price. Why? Because now they are also targeting middle class people as well, and so many companies are producing ACs, so there is no novelty there in the AC. So that is represented by this graph, that high penetration price. Here you can write high skimming price. If you charge the high price, then as the time pass you have to lower it, and if you are charging penetration price, then you can just maintain it in a market, because skimming's latter phase is also penetration. The penetration's latter phase cannot be skimming, it will be penetration only. So if you are charging penetration in initial, you will have a quite stability in your price of your product. A high initial price or skimming price together with heavy promotional expenditure may be used to launch a new product if conditions are appropriate. For example, here different conditions are given in which you can charge high price. First one, demand is likely to be less price elastic in the early stages than later, since the high prices are unlikely to deter pioneer consumers. A new product, being a novelty, commands a better price. Again, at least in early stages, the product has so few close rivals that cross elasticity of demand is also low. First of all, if your elasticity of price, we have discussed in detail at the time of discussing objectives of pricing, that what is the effect of elasticity on pricing. If your price product is inelastic demand, then you can charge high price, and if your product is having high elastic demand, then you have to charge low price. If you have very less substitute in the market, then you can charge high price. Then second situation, if the life of the product is short, a high initial price helps in getting as much as out of it and as fast as possible. If the life of product is so short, then you have to cover your cost within a short period only. You cannot imagine longer period for covering your cost, and that is why you are charging high price. Then next, Such a policy can provide the basis for dividing the market into segments of differing elasticity. A paperback usually follows bound edition of a book. We have discussed earlier as well that if we are charging skimming pricing, then in the early stages we are charging high price, and in the later stage we are charging low price. So here we are dividing our target market into two segments, that firstly we are targeting rich class and secondly we will target middle class of people. And when we are targeting rich class, we are charging high price. A high initial price may be useful if a high degree of production skill is needed to make the product, so that it is difficult and time consuming for competitor to enter on an economical basis. If your product is having high technological skill that you are having, your company is having, but your competitors are not having, so it cannot be easily copied by competitor, in that situation you can charge high price. It is safe policy where elasticity is not known and the product not yet accepted. High initial price may finance the heavy cost of introducing a new product when uncertainties block the usual sources of capital. If we don't know anything about the product, about market, about demand, about the competitors reaction, consumers reaction, anything, then high price policy will be safe. Why? Because you can at least cover your cost. If you earn profit or not, that is a secondary, but at least you will not incur loss, so you will be in a safe position. So to safeguard your company, high initial price may be proper. Then here different examples who have applied skimming pricing in a market is given in this paragraph. You can go through it. Now let us discuss about penetration. Under certain conditions, it can be successful in expanding market rapidly and thereby obtaining larger sales volume and lower unit cost. It is appropriate where first, sales respond quickly and strongly to the low price. If you charge low price, then sales can increase rapidly. In that situation, you should charge low price. Second, there are substantial cost savings from volume production. Means if you produce in bulk, when you can produce in bulk if there is a high demand. Now, there is a benefit in both of this dimension. If you produce in bulk, you will be having the benefit of economies of scale, your cost per unit will reduce, so your profit can be increased. But in the another phase, if you have produced in a large volume, you have to sell this large volume, and large volume can be sold at lower price only, not at the higher price. Then the product is acceptable to the mass of the consumer. You are not having a smaller target market, but you are selling to the wide target market. You are having number of customers more. There is no strong patent production. Your product is not novelty. It does not require any engineering skill or technological skill which cannot be copied by anyone else. It can be easily copied in the next week. It is so common and so usual. Then you have to go for penetration pricing. There is a threat of potential competition, so that a big share of market must be captured quickly. The product is of a kind that can face a huge competition in a market, and if you want to prevent from the competition, you should charge low price so that you can earn low profit and your market loses the attractiveness to the competitor. They will think that this market is not having high profit margin, why to waste our efforts and time in this product. So they will not enter in your market and you can enjoy monopoly with lower price. Objectives for the penetration pricing. The objective of low penetration price is to raise barriers against the entry of prospective competitors. Stay out of pricing is appropriate. As I have told you just now, that if you charge low price, you are earning low profit, and that is why market loses the attractiveness in front of competitors. The first objective is where the total demand is expected to be small. If the most efficient size of plant is big enough to supply major portion of demand, a low price policy can capture the bulk of market and successfully hold back low cost competition. If your plant size is big enough that they can produce in bulk only, then you have to sell in bulk and you have to charge low price. Then second objective, when the potential of sales appears to be great, price must be set at long run level. In such cases, an important potential competitor is large multi-product firm for whom the product in question is probably marginal. They are normally confident that they can get their cost down to competitors' level if the volume of production is large, but the policy is inappropriate where. See, first of all, we will discuss that why we should charge low price. Being a small scale firm, if we are charging low price, and in future, if any competitor enters in a market who is a multi-product firm, who is large scale, for they have launched and they are offering the market 25 or 50 products. For them, this product may be a marginal. They are like just a drop in an ocean. They may not be much conscious about this product, so they will definitely charge low price to take over your business, to ruin your business. So from initial stage only, we should charge the price at the best possible lowest level so that even the large scale firm cannot cope, cope up with up, or if they can cope up, then they are not in position to lower it down. But this policy will be inappropriate if the total market is expected to stay small. Means if your target market, you feel that you will sell in the large market, but somehow large market is not offering or demanding your product, only small number of consumers are there, then policy of low price may not finance your cost. The new product calls for capital recovery over a long period. Here, there is a risk that later entrants will be able to exploit the new production technique, which undercut the pioneer's original cost structure. If your product is copied by your competitor and they launch with a updated technology, then your product's life cycle seems to be very short. And in that short period, you may not cover your cost and you can incur losses. So in that situation, charging low price may be risky. That is all about skimming pricing and penetration pricing. Then next is rate of return pricing. Rate of return pricing is nothing but we have discussed in the objectives of pricing, and at that time I have given you the figures as well, that how rate of return pricing works. Say for example, again I am giving this example here. Whatever the example is given in your book is not appropriate from your exam's point of view, because in your exam the practical aspects are not asked. They are only asking theoretical aspects. So whatever is there in the objective, that you need to write in this rate of return pricing. So for example, I want to earn 1 lakh of rupees in 1 month. This is my target, and I have done demand forecasting in a market, and I come to know that per month units can be demanded and I am able to sold 10 lakh of units. It means I have to earn 1 lakh by selling 10 lakh of units. So I will divide 10 lakh by 1 lakh. It means I have to keep price as 10 rupees. Here I am not keeping in mind the cost of production, cost of marketing. I am deciding price. Now my cost of production has to be lesser than 10 rupees. My cost of marketing has to be lesser than 10 rupees. In fact, my overall cost has to be lesser than 10 rupees. Suppose I want 2 rupees as a profit, then I have to make my product ready in just 8 rupees. Now this is the target, and in that I have to work. So this is the way where price is decided first and then production is done. Up till now, whatever the methods we have seen, where we are deciding cost structures first, then we are adding the margin, and then we are charging a price. But here the whole process is reversed. First price is decided, and then target will be decided about cost, and within that cost structure we have to make our product ready. That is what rate of return pricing. So that is all about rate of return pricing. Again, I am saying that this much detailed example you need not to write in your exam. So we are keeping our lecture here only. From next lecture we will see the remaining two methods, that is multi-stage pricing and the peak load pricing. Thank you.